The big two questions we've been getting all week is, did the Lions hire the wrong offensive coordinator, and why did they not give Jets OC Tanner Engstrand the job? Let's talk about it. Hi, it's Mike Payton from A to Z Sports Detroit. Let's just jump right into it. We'll start with the Engstrand part of things. Everybody thought that this was going to be the guy. This was kind of what was discussed the entire time. It was the high expectation that when Ben Johnson left, Engstrand was going to take that position, because the way that we kind of all talked about him and the way that the Lions kind of referred to him, he was like this guy that was waiting in the wings, this protege, if you will. He was going to be the man. But as we got closer to when the Lions were going to be selecting whoever their OC was going to be, all that cooled off dramatically. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there. But the idea of him being an OC just kind of went away completely. The Lions didn't even interview him for the job. And then they went directly to Morton. It seems like that's the way they wanted to go at all times, was directly to Morton. They interviewed no other candidates. The only other coordinator candidate that got interviewed was Larry Foote, and that was for the defensive coordinator job, which was given to Kelvin Shepard, which that one was the one that felt like should have just gone directly to the guy who was already on staff, and instead of interviewing somebody else. So I don't know what happened there, but the point is, Lions never considered Engstrand to be an offensive coordinator for them. That turns out to be just a lot of speculation. That was all just kind of, everybody thought, well, this is the hot name that we've heard so much about. It's probably going to be that guy. And at the end of the day, that's all it really turned out to be. He went over to the New York Jets, had a pretty good week 1 game against the Steelers. We'll see where that goes for him. As far as Morton goes, the Lions were in on this guy immediately, and they were not the only team that wanted him. I think that's really important to note. Ben Johnson wanted John Morton to be his offensive coordinator. Called him, got him on the phone, tried to set up an interview. The Denver Broncos, where Morton was there already, they wanted him to stay. Sean Payton kept texting him and saying, where are you going to stay? What's going on? He chose to go to the Lions. The Lions wanted him. 3 teams wanted him, one of which is with Ben Johnson, the guy that everybody thinks is a genius. He wanted John Morton. And the reason that the Lions went with Morton, it's really very simple. Over Engstrand especially, is that Morton had a huge part in installing this offense that you saw Ben Johnson running in the last 2-3 years. That was huge for them. It wasn't going to give it to Mark Brunell. It wasn't going to go to Tanner Engstrand. Jared Goff, who was also a big part of it, can't be the OC. He's the quarterback of this team. So you go with the guy who had a big part of installing the offense, had a huge part of it. Everyone trusts this guy. Everyone in the building knows who he is. Engstrand was a trusted guy, but still pretty young in his coaching career. Hadn't really been an OC before, was kind of rising up through the ranks, had just become the pass game coordinator. So things needed to be a little bit more leveled, a little bit more experienced, and that's what the Lions went with Morton. They went with a guy who, again, helped install that offense, is trusted in the building, is trusted around the NFL. I mean, like I said, more than the Lions wanted him. They didn't just pick this guy. This wasn't a favor that Dan Campbell was doing to a friend. This is the guy they wanted. This is the guy everybody wanted. We'll see where it goes. I don't think week 1 is what John Morton is always going to look like, and I think in week 2, I'll be right about that. We'll see what happens.